Hello! So I'd like to do some tapping around releasing ancestral trauma. Now, whether you buy into this or not, there is actually some research coming out now that is showing that this is looking like a thing, which is exciting, but it gives us the opportunity to actually do some work on it. So we're not just working on ourselves, we get the opportunity to work on traumas or fear that our parents and even grandparents went through and start to release that from our ancestral line so that in turn we don't pass it on. It's our responsibility to clear ourselves so that we can prevent this from moving down the line, so to speak. So I'd like to do some tapping around that. And it's okay if you are not aware of anything particularly traumatic that your parents or grandparents went through. We're going to do some tapping, and we're just, to a certain extent, we're going to make it up because we don't necessarily know. But the great thing is our brain doesn't know the difference between made up and real. So we're going to do a kind of made up tapping, but it's going to hit all those parts it needs to hit and start to release some of that ancestral stored trauma. So as always, taking full responsibility for your own well-being as we go through this. If you find yourself getting really emotional, you're probably going to be tempted to stop. Please don't. Please keep tapping. You don't have to keep repeating what I say, but keep tapping, because tapping turns off your stress response. So I promise you, if your emotions spike, keep tapping and they will calm down, even if you need to keep tapping beyond the length of this video. Hope that makes sense. Let's dive in and get this going. So starting on the side of your hand. Even though I have some stored ancestral trauma, and as I say that out loud, maybe I even feel something in my body. Maybe a knot in my solar plexus. Maybe a tightness in my chest. Maybe an itchy nose. And I choose to love and accept myself and my ancestors. Even though I have some stored ancestral trauma and fear. Something that my parents or grandparents went through. That really upset them. That really frightened them. Maybe they experienced a period of struggle. Whatever it is, I can feel it in my body. And I choose to love and forgive myself and my ancestors. Even though I might not know what this trauma is. I may not have the specifics of it. But I choose to look at how my life currently is and I choose to get curious about what might be impacting it. That has been passed down to me unknowingly by my ancestors. And I'm open to releasing that now. When I think about ancestral trauma, maybe I know that my parents went through difficulty. Maybe I know one or both experienced trauma. Or maybe it was my grandparents. And I may not know specifically what this is, but it feels like it's impacting me today. And they didn't pass this on because they're horrible people. They didn't know this would happen. That what they went through and experienced would continue to affect their descendants. This ancestral trauma in my body. Maybe I know what it is. Maybe I know who it has come from. Or maybe I don't know. But it just feels like I'm struggling to release something. And I'm open to the possibility that I have inherited some trauma or fear that is impacting me today. That is keeping me small. That is preventing me from fully healing. Maybe it's even attracting similar trauma and struggle. And up till now, I haven't known how to stop it. Because just as my ancestors didn't know they were passing it on, I didn't know I was picking it up. And their time of struggle, their time of fear, their trauma is living in my body. And I'm open to forgiving them for that. I'm open to forgiving myself for that. This is not mine. This was handed to me unknowingly and unwittingly. And just as unknowingly, I picked it up. And I choose to forgive myself and them for that. And by forgiving myself and them, I'm open to start healing this ancestral trauma. I choose to recognize that it is living inside me. Rent-free, I may add. but it doesn't have to. I am allowed to release it from my body. I choose to release it from my body. From every cell, muscle, fiber, and tissue in my body. And all the way back through my past. I choose to release this trauma now. I choose to show myself compassion around it. And I choose to extend that compassion to my ancestors. I am so sorry that they went through that. I am so sorry they had to experience that. I am so sorry that I picked it up. And now I choose to let it go. I choose to let it go without judgment. I haven't been silly or bad by picking it up. Because I didn't even know I was picking it up. And this inherited trauma has been running through my body. Maybe I've experienced it as pain. Maybe I've experienced it as illness. Maybe I've experienced it in how my life is. Who's in it? What's going on? And I choose to forgive myself for all of that. I am sorry. I'm sorry my ancestors went through it. I'm sorry that I'm still going through it. And I choose to forgive myself now for that. I choose to forgive them for that. And if there is any resistance to me letting this go, I choose to acknowledge that resistance. And I choose to get curious about it. Maybe there's some part of me that is frightened of letting it go. And I choose to honor that. And I choose to forgive myself for that. Take a breath. And let it go. And if you had some physical sensations when we started, just check in with those. How is your body feeling now? Did any thoughts or memories or images pop into your head as you did that? Did your little inner voice say anything to you? And whatever happened, just make a note of it, because this is all clues of what to tap on next. Just make a little note and you can work on that at a later date. Now, equally, if nothing really popped up, you just feel like you zoned out a little bit, that's fine too, because it's a signal that your body is coming out of that stress response. When we tend to zone out, it's a lot of clients, they kind of zone out and go a bit, feel really tired. That's really cool because it's showing that your body is feeling safe enough to zone out, safe enough to feel tired. So just show yourself some compassion. If you need to have a lie down, have a lie down. If you need to go for a walk, have a walk. I recommend a cup of tea because I'm apparently very elderly and tea does it for me. But whatever you need to do is just give yourself a little bit of love and support. And feel free to come back to this tapping whenever you need to. And if you'd like to explore a little bit further, a little bit deeper as to what is going on and what you might be holding on to and what you can release, please feel free to reach out and have a chat with me. I'll put a link further down that give you a free breakthrough consultation. It will take you through to my calendar and you can just book that in. It's completely, there's no obligation, I won't make you buy anything. But if you just want to explore a little bit further about what's going on, then please feel free to do that. So I hope that was useful. Have a wonderful rest of your day and I'll see you very soon. Doodles.